Hey everyone, today I just want to walk you through how to put together our loaded tags. So I printed out the 3 pages I'm going to be using today. This is the base with the 2 little envelopes. I haven't printed anything on the back, and I'll walk you through how I'm going to construct this one because we do have a few options. I've printed out the 3 tags with the bits of fussy cuts and ephemera on the top. And I've printed out one of the sheets that's got a lot of the little ephemeras on it. On the back, I've put the backing paper just so that these are going to look all nicely finished. This one's on a semi-gloss 200 GSM, and these are on regular copy paper. So where to start? There's a few ways of constructing these. Obviously, when you fold them in like that or like that, you're going to end up with white on the inside. So you can either put the backing paper on the back side of here so you have a pattern when you fold the 2 flaps in. You can print this guy out twice and cut this out and stick it back to back. The other option, which is the option I'm going to be taking today, is this large tag here. Gone out of focus. Oh, here we go. This large tag here actually is identical size and shape to this one here. So I can cut this one out and then paste this tag on this side so I have all my surfaces are covered. And that's the option I'm going to use today. Now these 2 are the same size. I haven't done any backing on these ones, so what I'm going to do is cut these out and glue them back to back, so I've got something really pretty to go in. Alrighty, so my next step is to start cutting. I'm going to go away and cut these all out, and then we'll come back and do some gluing. Okay, so I'm back and I've got everything cut out. So this is my my main body piece. These pieces are going to come across. I'm going to glue up the tags, little tabs on the end. As I mentioned, this one I'm going to glue in here. And these are going to go across. And then I've got my little... So you can kind of arrange these how you want. I think I quite like it that way, which is a little bit different to how I originally thought, but I think we'll go with that. I'm going to go ahead and glue these, and we'll see how we go. So put this one on first. I've got my glue out, haven't used it for a couple of weeks, so I think it's hopefully not too dried out. Let's have a go, hey? As I said, there are a few ways, different ways of doing this. This one I think probably uses a less amount of ink. I'm looking at new printers, and I'm looking at one with the tanks. I'm hoping that might help me save a bit of money because ink's getting expensive. All right, so that's that one in. Push it all down. Which way around do you reckon? That way, that way, that way, maybe that way. And then that one there and that one there. Yeah, a little bit different to how I've got it on the listing, but hey, that's the fun of these. You can kind of do them how you want, and it means you've got some variety, so you can do things a little bit different each time, which kind of adds to the fun to it, of it. All right, so that's my first side over there, pasted down. Honestly, I think the cutting's the thing that takes the longest time. Got my little ephemeras all cut out. That took a little while. Okay, glue that tab down. coming together quite nicely. And that way you can see we've got the colour on the back as well. So everything's covered off. This one next. Alrighty. And line it up. Actually, I'm going the wrong way around, aren't I? Oh no, that's right. That was a good save before I put too much pressure on it and couldn't undo it. Wriggle that around, wriggle everything into place. Okay, and we're coming together. All right, last one. I honestly think when I'm sitting cutting things out, it's kind of almost a little bit meditation, I reckon. It's a time to be still and focus on something that's outside of your everyday life. And I think with all the stresses of our modern day existence, being able to take that little bit of time out is really valuable. All right, so there's our back. There's our front with our pockets, lots of little pockets to slip things into. As you can see, I've got the backing on this one. This one I didn't worry about trying to cut out all the little divots. That one can go in. This one I did. I got a bit carried away and I had an attempt at cutting all these out. I think next time I do one of these, I'll try it with a hole punch instead. Pop him in. And then I just had fun with all these ones. So there are some long ones, some short ones. Probably should have started at the back, but hey, that's all right. Might take these out and start at the back. Start at the back. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets. So if I start at the back with the tallest items, that's probably going to work the best. I can just move forward and pack these out. So I was going to glue this one back to back, wasn't I, before I start filling that up. All right, let's do that. Oh. Obviously the alternative to back, because these are this is irregular copy paper is quite flimsy, is to do it on something a little bit thicker, or stick it back to back so it's double the thickness. My little double thickness one, that's quite large too. We'll put that in here. These ones are going to have to be straight up and down just because they're so wide. And I'm running into some bumps there. Hang on. Next one. There we go. That fits better. Doesn't want to slide right the way down. I think I'm running into the tabs because they haven't quite dried. Might wait till the tabs are dry and then put that one in. It's the tabs around here that's kind of getting hooked on. Put that one in last. All right. There we go. I'm just kind of loading it up. I might spend a little bit of time too going around and doing some inking of the edges, particularly this one. I might actually leave this one out for the moment. I've got more than enough in there now. Really cute little lavenders. I really enjoyed designing these little lavender ones. Alrighty, I probably don't need the rest. These ones I printed on the copy paper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick them on some maybe the paper bags. I don't know. We get Coles paper bags, and they're quite a sort of a nice thick craft paper, and I love recycling them and just sticking these onto the Coles paper bag and then cutting around it, and that gives me sort of a really textural, I love the way they feel. They're sort of a little bit rough, and that gives me some lovely little pieces of ephemera. I'm going to come back and do that in a minute. Going to go off and get myself a Coles paper bag to play with. I've talked myself into it now, but that's how we're looking so far. So really cute. Lots of bits and pieces to put in, which is good. I do like to put a lot of choices of ephemera in my packs. So it's coming on. Alrighty, I'm going to get some Coles bags. I might see if I can find some ribbons or some tassels for some of these tags as well, and dig out my hole punch. We'll put a hole punch in there, and move on with the next steps, which is kind of a little bit more decorating now that we've got our base tag done. Okay, so I had a bit of a rummage through. I found some paper from a bag, which I think will be kind of cool to use. I might stick some of this down onto here and then do some cutting. I found some like postage stamps, which I think could be kind of cool to use as well, and some poppets. So I'll put some of these together. As I said, I kind of just like the extra thickness of the packaging that you can just recycle and put in. Kind of make some decent use of it, which is kind of cool. All right, paste that one on. Oh, don't slip, don't slip. All right, there we go. And I'm just going to cut around. Often find it's a lot easier when you're dealing with these pieces of ephemera, particularly the ones that sort of have I like to put a sort of a cream guideline around the edge so you don't get stark white if you can't cut it exactly. Gives you a little bit of room to move, a little bit of room for error, so it doesn't have to be exact with that bit of cream. All right. So there's my one of those, which is kind of cool. Backed, so it's now a nice thick little card. I don't think I need to do this one. I think I'm going overboard. That wouldn't be the first time, let's be honest. Let me see if I can find my hole punch, and we'll put a hole in this one. If it'll let me. I like this hole punch because it was little, but for some reason it stopped going all the way through. It's a little bit frustrating, but that's all right. To give it a tatty sort of look. Not a bad thing. All right, so I've got our hole through there. I did dig out a couple of pieces of string, or one piece of string. Might just cut that in two and we'll tie that on. We're going for the French country look, so we'll go a bit rustic with this. I'm wondering if I should tie this on at the same time, just for a bit of contrast, because that's really kind of silky and smooth, and that's really rough. It's kind of fun to touch them both at the same time. Just a little bit of textural differences. Let's do that and see what happens, hey? What's the worst that can happen? I'll take them off and do them again. All right. Through. And that gives us our hangers for that. What I might do is just tie this string in where this tassel goes. Just keep it all together maybe, because it kind of feels a little bit too separate. I'll put a bit of a knot in it. See how we go, hey? Yeah, that just sort of pulls it. Nah, not really. That's not working how I want. I know, we'll glue that on. When in doubt, glue it. All right. Can I push that down? All right, let that dry, and hopefully that'll keep that string on there. I don't think it's gonna stay. See, guys, you get me crafting when I'm just kind of winging it and I make it up as I go along, which, you know, honestly for me is kind of half the fun. You try things, they work, you try other things, they don't work. It's kind of just fun to explore and play, and part of the fun of that is that it doesn't matter if it fails, it doesn't matter if it goes wrong. You just have another go, try a different way. Maybe if I put a pin through it, that'll keep it together while it's drying. If I can get the pin open. There we go. Okay. Pinning on. Hopefully that'll just keep it together enough to dry. Cool. All right. So where was I? I've got my big stacked up pocket. Now, while I was off camera, I sort of had a look at this, and it's looking actually, I'm feeling it's a little bit busy. There's a lot going on. There are a lot of patterns. So I'm actually thinking with this one, I might turn it over, put it in that way. That gives me something that's a little plainer to kind of bounce some of this other stuff off. I'll put that one that way. Maybe. Just looking a little bit overcooked, folks. Maybe even we can put this one in coming this way. Just to break it up. Ah, there we go. Now I think I'm getting somewhere. So we've got some defined lines now. We've got a little bit of something plainer, a little bit of something other, because I thought all these were kind of blending into one a little bit more. But now with that one in there and that one around the back, we've kind of, everything's a bit more distinct. So that makes me happy. That's good. All right. I did find some more of this stuff that I've used in previous videos, and I might put that on this one actually, and we'll see how we go. How did I do this before? All right, in this way. Unwrap it. Or okay. All right. There we go. I'm liking the fact that this is a fairly monotone kind of item, because I think it really just gives some of that juxtaposition. Is that the right word? I don't know. Anyway, maybe I'm just making it up. There we go. So I'm happy with that. We've still got extra pieces we could try and pack in. I'm not sure that we want to, but we could. So we've got this one. This one needs to go, because of how big it is, it needs to kind of go in straight up and down. Maybe straight up and down in here. And then that gives us a little, we'll pull these out a little bit. Kind of like to just see, I'll put this one in front here. just to see her little face poking through. It's kind of nice to down in there. Okay, it's kind of nice just to have that bit of humanity appearing out of the bushes, as it were, with all this floral stuff. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with where we've got with that. It's certainly got that French country, but there's a lot of warmth to it too, which I'm really liking. I did like the big wax seal, so I'm kind of thinking I might actually put that on the back and just break up this. I could put it on the back of here, and that leaves out pretty flat. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so pull that out a little. I don't want to disturb everything too much. I'm just going to pull that out a little bit. Let's put some glue on. Oh, which way up is this? That way, I think. Is it? Is it the other way? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, and then that's good for the back, because the back was looking a little bit boring. We've got all our pretty backing papers, but it's looking a little bit boring. So that just adds some sort of visual interest when you turn it over. I'll pop that back in a little bit. Just nestle that one back in there. Looks pretty from the back. Looks so pretty from the front with all our bits and pieces hanging off it. This hole here, I might just put a little clip on that. I'm loving these little clips. I got these off AliExpress or somewhere, but they're so cute, and they're not as heavy as a normal sort of safety pin, but they just give a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of something to play with, a little bit of touch stimulation. Now I've gone and lost it. It's gone inside. Where did that go? Huh. Okay, I'll sort that out in a minute. But yeah, I think I'm going to call that a day. I'm quite happy with how that's come together. There's lots going on, but it's not overwhelming. We've broken it up here. Broken it up with introducing these lines, and broken it up by turning this tag around. So I'm happy with that. I was going to put some stamps and some poppets on. I don't think I need it. I might put a poppet on there maybe, but I think I'm just going to leave it for now. I'm happy with where we've got to. Anyway, thank you for coming along with me as I've kind of played around with this. It's been fun. I'll pop the link to this kit in the description of the video too. If you're interested in it, I do have quite a few loaded tags, and they're all kind of similar in what comes in them. So love to see what you make. Thanks so much. Bye.